Hello and welcome to GPTV on Tuesday the 29th of November, the last spring edition of GPTV in the year 2022. My name is Philip Kingston.
And I'm Gary Peer.
Gary, spring, I love spring. And summer, I love summer as well, although, you know, we will be complaining about hot weather soon. How do you feel about the summer months about to hit? Three more weekends of selling in Melbourne.
Fine.
For 2022.
Fine.
Yep.
Yep.
Have you lost your complete
No,
personality? Did you leave your personality in the car, did you?
I got told on Sunday at an auction
yes.
that I talk over you, and now I'm just going to see how that works out for you now.
Shout out to Ben G. I don't know whether he wants his surname on GPTV, but Ben G, who is a wonderful, wonderful man, and his family have been so good to us across the journey.
I was always so fond of you, but go on.
But it was lovely. You and I were talking to Ben G, who said, look, guys, really love the GPTV show, but he looks dead at you and says, but you know what, Gary? You've got to stop talking over Philip all the time. And I looked at this Ben G and I thought, you know what? I've always thought he was a very, very intelligent man, but he just went up in my esteem.
And you know what? I always thought he was a very, very intelligent man, but actually he probably dropped a notch. So between the two of us, he probably stays the same as where he was. But I have to say, Phil, that I think I'd rather defer to your wife, who says that you talk over me and don't let me get a word in. So, Ben, maybe go back to a few editions or have a chat to Philip's wife, a wonderful, wise psychologist who watches and a deep thinker and says, you know, Gary doesn't get to say much. So, but anyway, I've got over myself. You know, I've had a few sessions with your wife since Ben told me that I talk over. But I tell you what Ben did say. He said, I'm just here for my looks. And you know what? I'm okay with that.
Do you know, I think Ben was really just
Yeah.
recovering, thinking to himself he didn't want to alienate you before we sold a property for him.
Fair enough.
Anyway,
That's my eye. Seen that?
Yeah, what is this?
Got a black eye.
Viewers, I know this is quite...
Every week there's something with our face now.
Have a look at this. Can the camera get to that?
Maybe we'll have a little shot like we did last week with you.
Can we get that? You are.
What did we have with you last week?
You are.
With your nose.
You are actually repulsive.
Your nose got fixed up quickly, didn't it? It was pretty good. That's what. So the surgeons are good, aren't you? Go and see it.
I tell you what.
It's worth what you pay.
One of the joys of working within the areas that we work, we have our choice of plastic surgeons, Gary,
we do.
and when none of us are beyond a little work.
Do you know what happened there?
But what happened there?
Well, I haven't told you what happened, but you know, this is what you get for being a nice guy. Because you know, I was playing golf. And someone was in the back seat of the car, and it was a car with many people. So I lifted the seat, and the seat just caught me straight in the eye, Phil. It just knocked me out. And
well,
of course, that brought much frivolity and laughter from the boys.
Talking about golf, Gary, as you like to talk about golf, and you know my views on golf, complete total waste of time. But there is a famous Australian comedian by the name of Hannah Gadsby, who is now making her fame and fortune in the United States and specifically New York, where she has taken the American market, the comedian American market by storm.
Which is a small market now because you've got to be very careful as a comedian. Well, you can't upset anybody.
This woman is not careful about anything. In fact, she defines wokeism, I think, at its very best. Amazing comedian. But Hannah Gadsby, if you would like me, I can't put this up on GPTV, but she has a crack at golfers that is probably the best 5 minutes about golfers. So if you are interested in getting this, I will send it to you, but I can't publish it on GPTV.
And I showed the golfers, and they thought it was very funny, even though she called us the worst of names, Phil. But that's okay because we suffer anyway on the golf course. Let's get away from golf. Let's get back to property and real estate, Phil. Let's get away from our facial imperfections because you had your nose, I've got my eye, and I enjoyed saying to people you should have seen the other guy as you did last week. But hey, not a bad clearance rate. Sorry, Ben, if I'm going on a bit too much, like cutting him off.
Well, Gary, as you were cutting me off, before you jump into the property talk, just a couple. We've had some viewer feedback. It's come in thick and fast across the weekend.
I reckon you set the second one up. I reckon the second one's one of your kids or your mum.
I love our viewers, and I'm somewhat shocked about the calibre and high quality of our viewers.
Yes.
But here's something from Anna. She sent in the Roy and HG of the real estate world. So, Anna, we've got a gift coming to you because we do like to encourage.
Is that a compliment? Because I think they're off the air. I think they were old, crusty guys that are off the air now. Or are they brilliant comedians that have still got a lot
I think Anna has definitely meant this as a compliment.
Thank you, Anna. I love the word actually.
But here is, I mean, full credit to Vita, who has absolutely nailed his, or Vita is a male or a female, I'm not quite sure. But Vita, whoever you are, thank you for your feedback, which is incisive and straight to the point. Philip is absolutely fabulous. He is a total natural. He needs his own show. Well done, guys. So, but wait for this one. This one is the piece de resistance. And a shout out.
Oh, you can't say the name, Philip.
Shout out.
It's a very eminent, well respected, professional.
For just in case he doesn't want his name.
No, don't tell his
name. All I'm going to say to you is his first name is Leon, and this is true.
That's right.
And Leon is probably, without question, one of the smartest.
Yeah, professionals.
If
we won't
not
say
the
professional. Don't say profession.
Professional in Australia.
And but has now had his reputation actually scarred by watching GPTV.
To the contrary, Leon, we acknowledge that not only is Leon one of the smartest people in the country, if not the smartest, but he is in the speed dial of prime ministers, captains of industry, celebrities. There's no
jockeys.
There's no jockeys. Yes, there's no person that doesn't aspire to having Leon's number in his Rolodex.
Sure.
And what does Leon say, Philip? I'm willing to act for you on a fee-declined basis. There's a tip as to what he does. Lawyers need to be held to account. Regards, Leon. So I'm not going to say who Leon is, but all I can say is that he is happy to act for me pro bono.
Fair enough. Do you need somebody to act for you at the moment? Do you need a lawyer? Because I'm not sure what that means, because maybe there's something coming at us.
So keep the viewer feedback coming in. And speaking of viewer feedback, we're on a roll here today. Victor came to an auction that I did in East Brighton
You're
on
loving the
Saturday.
silence, Ben? I'm saying nothing. Thanks. I hope you feel good now.
Anyway, so I think Victor is onto something. And Victor, we've got a bottle of whiskey coming your way because I really like this idea.
From you or from us?
No, from us.
Okay.
And he's shown a photo. We're going to show it up on screen. It was great to see you at the auction, Philip. Have a great weekend. P.S. I'll enter the GP photo competition if you launch one. So I think, Gary, we should start to launch a photo. So have a look at this photo. It's kind of a summery feel of looking at real estate and having a drink from our Gary Piran water. So we will launch this photo competition.
We are launching
We're launching it.
That's it. We're launching it right now. Photos. Now, it has to have something real estate in it. I think that's it. Or Gary Peer, or real estate.
No, it's got to have Gary Peer in it.
That's
right. Now, whether that's a person from Gary Peer, or whether it's a board, or whether it's the brochure, or the water, or the coffee van, whatever, but it's a photo competition of Gary Peer and summer.
Okay. Summer, Gary Peer, something. It doesn't have to be summer. Just something with Gary Peer in it. Board, ad, online, coffee van,
or it could
umbrella.
It could be our cap, for example, where you're sitting on an island in Fiji but wearing a Gary Peer cap. Or it could be an umbrella. Look, it could be anything.
We haven't done that for a while.
But the competition will be, the winner of the competition will be announced at the end of summer.
And
it's going to be a good prize too, Victor. I'm going to reach out to some of our affiliates, and we're going to get some. We're going to get a really good prize behind this.
I think we should have a panel of judges, Phil. I think my daughter should be, because she is a professional photographer.
Yes,
looking for work at the moment, by the way. So I think she should be on the panel. Maybe she'll get one or two of her other, genius photographer, young photographers to judge, Phil, so we can step back and we'll let them judge. We've got a summer competition going. Photography, we'll call it the Great Gary Peer Summer Photography Competition. Do you like it?
And we'll even publish it in the Peer Review.
And the Age. We'll put the Age, and the New York Times. It'll go everywhere. Absolutely. Can't do it in the truth anymore.
Back to property, because I'm so sick of you interrupting. Ben, this is what I've got to work with. Gary, we had actually a fabulous weekend when the industry... Well, they came to the party, the industry, with a 60% clearance rate. In fact, 60% clearance rate right around the nation, Gary.
I've got the stats if I can read them out.
What did we do? Just to kind
Do I get to jump in for a second now?
Jump in.
Sorry to disappoint you, Ben. We've got 59% Domain. That's the clearance rate as according to Domain. 59%. REA say it's a 61%. But we know the Gary Peer result, Phil, factually is...
Factually.
77%. Let's put up the towers, have a bit of boast music. It's good to be back with the boast, Phil.
Yeah, Gary, 77% was great. We had some standout results across the weekend. The market is funny, viewers. There's no question.
What's funny?
The market's not booming, right?
Why is it funny?
The market is...
I'm not laughing.
The market on...
Our volume's down.
Volume's
Our expenses
down,
are up.
Prices are down.
Yeah. What's funny about
all
that?
of these things. But funnily, Gary, we did have some great results across the weekend.
rippers.
And some of the properties that we sold, I think, sold at absolutely full tote odds.
Before we go, do you want to make a little unpaid advertisement? The peer review, you had it here.
Gary.
This is what... See, we plan things for this session and then we just forget about them, because it's very unscripted and it's very unprofessional. But go on, talk about that's professional.
So viewers, if you haven't received the peer review, you've got to get onto our mailing list. So just send your name in with your address, because this is old school. This
quality.
is posted to you, so you're going to get an envelope and you get to open it and flick through. Nothing about, it's not digital. It's actually old school and we love it. It's also in a digital edition too, but it's just so fun to get it. And we've just upgraded. It used to be called the State of Play, and then our new marketing agency said, what about the peer review? And we instantly loved it, because the peer review is really a play on Gary Peer, I suppose.
I guess so.
But the best part about this new edition, Gary, is that there is an article on me, right? There's an article on me that
I guess you'll like it, Ben, won't you?
That is 2 pages, but because I'm so fascinating, 2 pages just wasn't enough. It went to a 4-page spread. So if you'd like to know more about me, then just get the rear review. Bring it into the office. I'll sign it for you, and you never know. It could be worth a lot of money in years to come.
Yes.
It could be.
Could be.
Yeah, the chances of it being worth a lot of money, zero, but it could be.
Could be. You never know.
It's like that Jim Carrey, remember in that movie, I think it was Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, so there is a chance.
Where he says he's in love with this woman and the woman is showing him no response whatsoever. And I think he says to her, is there any chance that you would ever go out with me?
And she says
it's one chance in a million. So he looks at it and he says, there is a chance.
There is a chance. So
that's the life of a real estate agent. We never give up. Give us one little glimmer of hope, and we will chase that rainbow.
One of my other mates read this and said that there's from the editor, and they said there's no way you could have actually written all that. We'll just keep that a bit of a mystery as to whether we did or not. But we've got restaurants, Philip, in the peer review. We've got all of the property prices that have gone up and down. And by the way, there's where the market's changed, how it's gone up. And there was an article in the paper, Phil, about where things have dropped in price and Q East. If you're in Q East in a unit right now, you know what? You might want to cancel your holidays, because now it hasn't been so good. Apparently, Hawthorn East, Q East, Ascot Vale, Moonee Ponds all went down about 16 to 18%.
So if the market went down by 16% in East Q, can you imagine
don't
how
say
much
it. Don't talk about the part
in
far
Q?
Yes, exactly right. It's never good, is it, in over there in that far... Let's move on, Phil, but that's interesting. I don't know if it's right, because sometimes they judge on medians, Phil, and we know medians are very misleading. Now, I don't think things have gone down in those beautiful blue chip suburbs of Melbourne. Mind you, I had a look at the auction results in Malvern and Malvern East. Everything passed in on the weekend, Phil. So it sounds like you've got to cross over Dandenong Road to where we tend to have so much of the market, and you're going to get 77% clearance rates. Phil, let's talk about some of the properties that did sell. We talked last week about the Twilight auction in Kangaroo Road in Hughesdale.
Yes, that was a hopping
auction. Hopping auction there, sold for $693,000. 3 bidders going for that, Phil, at Twilight auction. Wasn't quite the hot auction we would have hoped in terms of weather, but it's all happening in Carnegie and surrounds as well. Philip, Beena Avenue sold for $910, well over the range. Well done to Graham Callan. We have also sold 17 Keene Street, Phil, which was an auction that you did, sold over the range, which was up to the 1/8, went in the next bracket. But Phil, interesting auction. The buyer, I think, just saw it on the day, and it had been in the same family since the, I think, 1970s, Phil. A long time.
And
so
interestingly, the buyer on that, Gary, also had a bid the hour
Hornby,
before in Hornby Street in East Brighton.
Yeah, so missed out on that, which was sold above
when
the range as well.
When I saw him arrive at Keene Street, I said, here we go. I think it's game on, Gary.
You knew he was a keen buyer, Phil, even though he missed out on Hornby Street, which sold for above its range of 1.6 to 1.76 as well. So there were a few that went above the range, many within the range, including 2 at 13 Flowers Street, which you auctioned.
I did.
With also multiple bidders, sold for 1 to 350. Phil, we had some fun on Sunday at 43 Fitzgibbon Crescent. Well, I don't know if you planned it this way or thought it was going to be that way, but the auction after that, which was your 1:30 auction, had sold. So you were strutting your stuff in Fitzgibbon Crescent actually it was a 12:30 auction sold, but you were strutting your stuff at 11:30 in Fitzgibbon Crescent. And lo and behold, Philip, I think the auction finished at about 12:45.
It did, Gary. So
auction.
Thankfully we'd sold the auction after that, which gave me more time to just do what I do. But how many bids at that auction do you reckon?
Many. I tell you what, though, also, I'm going to talk about this other auction in Burren Road, where we've got some image of the umpires. Now, I'm not sure about all this involving, and this is another good question for viewers, do and should the public and bidders get involved in the theatrics of the auction? Because you had this little kid you were driving crazy, right?
Yeah.
And you drove him so mad, I think, this kid, talking about this house and go over and tell your parents you want it. And you got him, you actually made this poor kid crazy, right?
This is at the Fitzgibbon.
Yeah. They bought the house, and I don't know whether you fed this line the kid or not, but after he bought it, you didn't see this, he went upstairs and said to the people who had owned it, who were there with their family, talking about the sales, probably to a point, celebrating the sale, and he said, "This is my house now, get out of here," which I thought was absolutely gorgeous. So I'm sure you must have probably planted that thought. And a young, innocent mind, Phil, that was absolutely perverted by your corrupt instructions or guidance. Anyway, 44 Langdon Road, another one that sold on the weekend. Congratulations to the seller and buyer alike, both good friends of our company. And Philip, Rotorua Street, well, that was also a interesting and good sale with 2 bidders there that was sold. And shout out to the family who owned that, because they are special people.
And shout out to the lovely ladies that acted as umpires.
Yes, now let's go to Burren Road. Let's show you an image of this. 129, so this was your theme, involve people. So I don't know what is going to have people doing. I know you got people blowing their horns and stopping in cars, and we've got Mexican waves. But you had these 2 women that were sitting on a chair watching you, and you decided to call them umpires.
Well, so they looked like umpires.
Exactly, and then when it was all out,
they were sitting there.
I know, they were very official. So you decided to give them a role at the auction, and when the auction was over at the end, we've got some footage of this, you decided that they would be umpires, and they would say, "That's it, auction over, all out." So we've got some great footage of that. So thanks for playing along with it. So we have some fun, because life's too short. We're all going to be dead, and dead a long time, as they say, Phil. So you may as well enjoy life while it's here, hey? How about that?
Absolutely.
Bit of philosophy.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, Ben, if I'm talking too much.
Come along to our auctions on the weekend, because you get to see beautiful properties. You get to get a feel of what's going on in the marketplace. You get coffee. There's
water.
There's giveaways. And you're going to have more fun than sitting at home, I don't know, watching paint dry or
good
flies
chance.
try to get in through the window.
Good or some chance you'll be offended by Phil over here, but you can come to auctions. I do auctions as well, by the way. There's 7 other auctioneers in the company as well as Philip, but we do have fun, because, as I said, life is short, and we want to make auctions an experience, Phil, something
Absolutely,
to enjoy.
Gary.
Some street theatre. No
100%.
one does it like we do in Melbourne. I talk about we and Melbourne. We are the auction capital of the world. Don't forget that, viewers. You're privileged and lucky. And we have the same government here as we've had before. So for those that voted for Dan.
Shout out to Dan Andrews, who seems to have defied all of the odds and actually
he was the favourite, actually.
No, but he's increased his majority. I mean, who would have thought? Anyway,
Melbourne is like being locked down.
I think either Dan Andrews said, or it might have been the leader of the opposition, who's now no longer the leader of the opposition.
Matthew Guy's name was. You've forgotten him already?
Matthew Guy.
I remember him.
He says, the election's over. Our job as Victorians is to all come together and get behind the new the new government that is the old government, but might be the new government with some new ideas. But ultimately,
United.
We are Victorian, and our job is to make this state as wonderful as possible for each and every person.
Yes. Vaccinated or not.
So ultimately, let's just do what we do and get behind Dan and make this state.
It was a
make
Dan
this
slide.
state great again.
Another Dan slide, Phil, and they're going to do a statue of him too now soon. He gets his statue, but I think there are some people that don't like Dan so much that might have something to do with that statue. But hopefully, there will be the right level of respect out there, Phil. And I think there was just an accident.
And I will say, though, amongst all of this, though, Gary, because I wasn't being political last week when I said that David Southwick is a fabulous local...
No, you said he's done well and he's contributed well as our local member.
100%. So I'm just going to now say again, he was re-elected.
Yeah, well, by the skin of his nose.
And a shout out to him, because whether you voted Liberal, whether you voted Labor, whether you voted the Greens or whoever else was on the ballot card, we know one thing. He is passionately committed to his electorate and for everybody.
And Lior Harrell gave him a big push, Phil, gave him a big run for his money in a seat that had been held for a long time. So good on you, Lior, for giving a run. But David, you've come through, and congratulations. We did give you a shout out last week as someone who's done a lot for the community.
If I was a swinging voter, and I saw
a bit of an Austin Powers type of bit of a swinger, David.
No, but you'd say one thing about. I mean, I don't know what his policies were. They were probably just a mirror of the Labor Party. But ultimately, what a friendly-looking guy he is. There's no question that if I was a swinging voter and I wasn't sure, and I looked at all of the people, I'd go, you know what?
He looks all right. He looks all right, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay, well, we're moving on, Phil, and we're talking about the auctions we've got this weekend because there are some 28 of them, Philip, coming up this weekend. We've got lots happening as we go into our first December auctions, Phil. And it's high time we got here, and let's hope the sun starts shining because summer is around the corner, just days away. Phil, we start off on Saturday morning. You're going to kick off nice and early at 10 a.m. in Prohasky Street, or in the Russian way of saying it, Prohasky Street.
Excellent accent there, Gary. You've always been very good with
accents.
accents.
I like the Russian accent.
This property is incredible. If you've never been to this property, go and have a look at it, or at least go online and have a look at the video. This is the most amazing tri-level townhouse with the most incredible rooftop, and it's part of a hotel that's about to open there, so you get to use all of the facilities.
Unique.
Stunning property, absolutely beautiful.
Well, that's our only 10 a.m. auction, Phil, but we have, count them, 5 auctions at 10:30 a.m.
My goodness me.
We are busy bees. We're going to start off in Carnegie. We've got double auction action in Carnegie at 10:30, Phil. We're going to be in Anzac Street. Remember this address well.
Yes, Gary. This is 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, a lock-up garage, plenty of courtyard garden areas. I love that style of, I mean, we've said it so many times, but we love these 1960s, 1970s villas with their own garden area, lock-up garage. You've got to love those. And they're really easy to renovate as well. And
as was evidenced in Kangaroo Road, Phil, which went hopping mad at auction, was very popular. Philip, I'm going to be in Emily Street at 10:30 a.m. Looking forward to meeting Nikki Janover to auction that property, also in Carnegie.
Gary, a fabulous 2-storey residence. This is a really, really good property. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space, Gary, and a storage cage, and wraparound courtyard gardens.
Phil, Leo Samuel opens his auction account. He's meeting up with Michael Jonas to auction this property, 5318 Dandenong Road in St Kilda. 2
bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space. That's got a really good floor plan, really good looking building. That's good real estate.
25 Mitchell Street, Bentleigh is under offer at the moment. Philip, Simon Radolnik is due to meet Jan Dosen, but probably won't get there because it's sold.
Well, I'm not surprised it's sold, Gary. Wonderful parcel of land, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, plenty of off-street car parking, but you're right, may not make it to auction.
We passionately love selling in Elswick, Philip, and thankfully get to do it often. We're doing it 10:30, 90A Oran Road. Jeremy Rosen's auctions this one.
Gary, how lucky is he? Because this is a beautiful home, Art Deco treasure on 554 square metres of land, 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 2 car spaces, plenty of land. It's a ripper.
At 11:30, there's double auction action, Philip. You're not involved until 12:30, but Leo Samuel is in Heatherset Grove, Carnegie.
And Gary, what a great property. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, plenty of off-street car parking, plenty of land, plenty of opportunity.
Remember the song Gene Genie?
Jeannie, yep.
Let yourself go. Well,
yeah.
I'm going to let myself go in Jean Street, McKinnon, Phil, at 11:30am. I'm looking forward to meeting Joel Sir for that auction.
Gary, what a great property. 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a double lock-up garage. I really do think that that's a great buying opportunity because McKinnon just gets better and better.
Looks a bit like the property we sold on Hopkins Street, Phil, that was very popular, so hopefully this one will be too. We have got 4 auctions at 12:30pm, Phil. We're going to be rolling you out to Carnarvon Road, just by the Parkside there in Caulfield North.
Gary, love that spot. Walk to the Malvern train station, walk to Glenferrie Road, walk to Caulfield Park, 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, a really, really good home.
We've got a few people's names, streets with people's names, Philip. We've gone from Emily
Jean.
to Mitchell to Jean, and now we're going to get to
Carnarvon.
Carnarvon, yeah. I was thinking of calling my son Carnarvon. You too?
Yeah,
We both talked
absolutely.
About it. Now we're going to go to Elliot at 12:30pm.
That's a great property, Gary. 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and a basement car space, balcony, storage, everything that opens and shuts.
Begg Street, Philip, 12:30, not a first name but a surname of a great trainer called Neville Begg, whose son Graham Begg still trains. Phil, tell us about 21 Begg Street, Bentleigh East. I'm the auctioneer.
Gary, 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, plenty of car parking. That's a really lovely family home, obviously in a great spot.
David Thompson is back, Phil, fresh from his operation on his knees. He's used those knees a little bit too much in his old days with playing cricket and golf and the sporty chap that he is. He's going to be auctioning Toollumbool Road, Philip, 2 at 7 Toollumbool Road with Dan Dyson.
What a great location, Gary. You've got everything on your doorstep there. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, and a lock-up garage, courtyard garden.
And at 1:30pm, Philip, the vendors of Bella Vista will be saying Hasta la Vista to their home at number 7 and Bella Vista Road. I've got the auction honours there, Phil.
You're very lucky because that's been very popular,
Yes.
and I'm not surprised because it is a gorgeous postcard perfect facade there, and that's 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, Gary, in a great spot.
Leo Samuel gets the other 1:30 auction honours, Phil, together with Jack Slater. He's going to be in Koonang Road, Carnegie.
And Gary, we love this again. Single-storey villa, 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a lock-up garage, home office, beautiful decking, courtyard gardens, everything that you should have in a beautiful apartment, townhouse, residence like that one.
We've got 4 auctions at 2:30, Phil. You're going to be in the wonderful address known as Alfada Street, Caulfield South, number 11 this time, meeting Daniel Fisher for that auction.
Check that one out, Gary. 3 bedrooms, 1.5 bathrooms, plenty of off-street car parking. That is really quite magnificent.
Another person's name in a street here, this time Craigavad, Phil. Craigavad Street in Carnegie. Graham Callan gets to auction this one.
3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, plenty of off-street car parking, gorgeous land. That is a fantastic property.
And yet another person's name, Phil, this time Clarence.
Yep.
And this one is being handled by Mark Kirkham.
2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space, Gary. Beautiful. Check out the beautiful timber floors.
Auctioned by Jeremy Rosens, who has a pretty busy Saturday, Philip. And another name again, and the last one for the day, is Morgan Street, Philip. Leo Samuels will be able to say good Morgan to this one.
What a stunning home, Gary. 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a swimming pool, off-street car parking, and our fresco entertainment area outside. Just stunning.
Seriously beautiful property, Philip. 3:30pm, we're going to be in Fisher Street. In Malvern East, Jeremy Rosen's auction. Is this fine-looking property for Joel, sir?
Gary, it's, stay tuned because that one may be sold, but 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space.
Leo Samuel is going to be bringing down the curtain on a busy Saturday, Philip, at Curagal Road. That is 11 at 45. Curagal Road, Carnegie.
Great entry into the market. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom and 1 car space. Immaculate apartment.
Let's get into Sunday, Phil. You're a busy chap. You've got 4 auctions. Your first one is going to be at 10:30 at 14 Fairfield Grove in Caulfield
Gary,
South.
I'm looking forward to that because that's a beautiful family home. 3 or 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, double lock-up garage, fabulous garden areas. Stunning home. Move straight into that, not spend a cent.
Double auction action on Sunday, Philip. We're going to be in Grange Road, Carnegie this time. Jack Slater and Dizzy is going to be handling that property at 11:30, auctioned by Leo Samuel.
4 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, a lock-up garage, plenty of land, plenty of opportunity.
Celeste Court is a great address, Philip. But
Celeste is also a person's name,
It is
Gary.
a person's name indeed, Philip, and Celeste Court is
Celeste
a great
Barber.
spot.
If you don't follow Celeste Barber on Instagram, I suggest you do because she is Seriously funny. Seriously funny.
Okay, I'll have to follow her. I don't know about it, Phil. But I do know about Brandon Oberclade, who happens to be the agent handling this property. Simon Radolnik is the auctioneer.
1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 1 car space, totally immaculate, beautiful timber floorboards throughout, great location.
Double auction action on 12:30. I am due to auction 508 Hawthorne Road, but it could well be sold by then, probably will be.
And
but
if,
great
it's not, Gary, 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, plenty of off-street car parking, good parcel of land, lots of opportunity.
Now, presuming that is sold, Phil, I'm going to come over and join you at a very special home, this one. Great address and beautiful home. Loving this one, 13 Lucan Street, Caulfield.
Gary, we love Lucan. Lucan's one of the best located properties in North Caulfield because you've got the Armour Village on your doorstep, you've got Dandenong Road on your doorstep, but this is the most stunning home, 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, plenty of off-street car parking, 2 cars, maybe even 3 if they're small enough, but this one has been renovated from the front fence to the back fence and everything in between, and the owners there, who are very special people, have done the most stunning job.
Well done to them. Lucan's not really a first name though, is it, of anybody?
Lucan? Yeah, absolutely.
Would you be called Lucan?
No, Lucan's very popular.
Fair enough. We've got a couple of others, stay tuned, but not this one. Brighton Road, Philip, in Balaclava. I am very excited to be auctioning this great property right near that little buzzing strip of shops on Brighton Road. Near where Chapel Street comes in. You've got the Craigavad Hotel
Chapel
there.
Street, you've got the Brighton Road shops, you've got
a great
Carlisle
Turkish
Street.
restaurant across the road there.
Yeah.
42A Brighton Road, tell us a little about it.
4 bedrooms, Gary, 2 bathrooms, off-street car parking for 2 cars. That is a fabulous property, and you've literally, because it's set back quite a large distance from Brighton Road. So when you enter your property, you don't hear any of the noise.
Convenience of Brighton Road, but no noise of Brighton Road.
Correct.
Let's go to our 130. Another name, this time Murray. Murray Street in Caulfield, you get the auction honours, Philip.
Gary, 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, massive off-street car parking facilities. That is a really good property, and we love Murray.
And if you want to see more of Phil on Sunday, then you can come to their final person's name auction, which is at 2:30 p.m. That is Seymour Road in Elston.
Gary, this is the most fabulous single-storey villa, one of only 3, 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, double lock-up garage, courtyard wraparound gardens, and of course the position there, you've got Halston Street Park. You are in one of the best streets of Elstonwick. You can walk to Glen Huntly Road. That is a magnificent home.
Looks enormously affordable too in that range, Phil. That looks like good value. Got a couple of properties to review, Philip. 13 Maxwell Grove is one of them. This is a beautiful 5-bedroom, 4-bathroom home.
I love this one. It's on 690 square metres of land. Move straight into this home, not spend a cent. There's got so much going for it. Huge entertaining areas. That is a great opportunity. And Maxwell is a very, very prestigious street.
And a good name of a person.
Maxwell.
Another, yes, good
Maxwell. It's a very smart
Maxwell
buying.
Smart.
Very smart to buy Maxwell, Gary.
Phil, there's another property here. You haven't got a brochure, but you know about this special preview. Haven't even got a brochure yet, but tell us a little bit about 510 Nearham Road in Murrumbina.
Well, Gary, that's a commercial property. They're currently occupied by TradeLink and another tenant, so you've got an income coming in there. There's 1,210 square metres of prime Murrumbina land zoned mixed use. You're opposite the train station there. It's on a corner of Hobart Street and Nearham Road, so massive exposure. You can buy that as an investment or just explore the redevelopment opportunities, or if you're an owner-occupier looking for that kind of yard where you can park cars and trucks and whatever you want to do, that's a great property.
It's very close to our office there, Murrumbina
It
Road
is,
office,
Gary, it is.
That's a big wrap on the auctions upcoming. The market still feels pretty good. Got to say, there's some competition around. A lot of buyers are recognising the value now. Vendors understand they can't get what they could have before, so they're meeting the market at what is a lower level than it was. And I think that's a good opportunity for buyers, as we said.
It is, Gary.
Could be the best possible time to buy.
I think the market is far better than what the media would have buyers believe. I think that the smart money is getting back into property, Gary, because these windows of opportunity close very quickly. That's it. And there'll be people, I reckon, next year that'll look back and go, you know what, I was going to buy in 2022, just didn't have the confidence, because one thing we do know, Gary, when the market jumps again, as it always does, it happens so quickly that those that didn't take opportunity get left behind.
They do, Phil. Well, 77%. If 7's your lucky number, and it was ours on the weekend, is good clearance rate, indicating the market is still pumping along, Phil, and we're still auctioning this year. And if you want to get in for next year, it's not too late. give us a call and we will accommodate you.
And I think, Gary, just because in the interests of looking after our clients and making sure they're fully informed, it's only fair that we just again acknowledge those people that have gone to the trouble of writing in, sending in their feedback, but we should close with the feedback from Vita. Philip is absolutely fabulous. He is a total natural. He needs his own show. Well done, guys. I'm Philip Kingston. Have a great week.
And thank you, Philip's mum, Pauline, for having that fake account called Vita. We appreciate that. I'm Gary Peer. We will see you next time on GPTV.